Today we're going to take a look at scatter plots. What are they and what are they good for? Well, just to let you know what it looks like, this is what a scatter plot looks like. Let's get that ink off the page there. It's basically a graph and it's got a bunch of dots on there. Okay. Now, how's it constructed? We'll get into it, but long story short, imagine you had a table of data here. Let's go through and let's make this one a little bit smaller. And it was just a bunch of ordered pairs, and it's going to be bigger than what this table is that I'm making, but just giving you an idea. You know, you'd have your X's. Let's just go through and put in some values here. Then you'd have your Y's. And the idea would be is that you would take each ordered pair and you'd graph it. And after you've done plotting all of this data, you'd be able to see what it looks like on the graph. So that's what a scatter plot is. It's taking just a bunch of ordered pairs and putting the dots on the graph so you can see it. Now, why do we use it? Well, basically, scatter plots are trying to find out if there's a relationship between the X data and the Y data. And this whole row of X's right here, that's your X data, and this is your Y data. So basically, that's all it is. Is there a relationship between the two variables? Is there a relationship between the x and y? And if we put it on a scatter plot, we can visually see if there is a relationship. And there's going to be three different ways that it shows up on a scatter plot. Basically, um, if you can see that the dots are going upward, you know, up to the right, we would say it's a positive relationship. If you could sketch a line and it goes through most of the dots, and you can see that's the general direction that it goes as your x values keep getting bigger, your y values are getting bigger, we know it's positive. If it looks like as your x's are getting bigger and bigger, your y's are actually going down, if you can see this downward relationship, we would say that's a negative relationship. So these are two scenarios that you would see, okay? Hey, I want to know if this table data right here has a relationship. Well, you put it on a scatter plot, and if it's going up, you'd say it's a positive relationship. If it's going downward to the right, we'd say it's a negative relationship. And then here's the third scenario. Basically, the dots are all over the place and you can't see it, so there would be no relationship. So, quick recap. What are scatter plots? Well, they're just a bunch of ordered pairs put on a graph. Why do we use them? It lets us be able to see if there's a relationship between the x and y values, the x and y data. And, you know, if we can see the positive relationship, yes, there's a relationship. If it's negative, there's still a relationship. It's just it's negative. And then sometimes we'd have to say, hey, there's no relationship at all.